And of course, we met a group of journalists from the political newspaper and from a Catholic newspaper. And through all that, we were very aware of the work that that Solidarity was doing. So it was a terrific introduction to Poland at a very remarkable time, a hinge of history, really. Although you don't always realize at the time that it is a hinge of history. But I remember afterwards, I took a great interest in everything Polish after that. And I do remember seeing a cartoon which had appeared in the Daily Telegraph of Nick Garland, a very, very fine English cartoonist, which showed a cartoon of Lech Walesa and other members of Solidarity saying the rosary in the Lenin shipyard. And it was so amazing to see this Lenin shipyard saying the rosary. And then there was a shadow, a ghost of Stalin in the background saying, "How many divisions has the Pope?" Of course, that was a very famous thing, narrative from history, where somebody had once said to Stalin, "The Pope does not approve of what you're doing." And Stalin had said contemptuously, "And how many divisions has the Pope?" And actually, that was an extraordinary cartoon, because you could see here was history coming back, really to haunt, and also to show that those people saying the rosary in the Lenin shipyard were going to undo the whole of the Soviet Union and the whole of the power of the Soviet bloc. Something that's, if you like, started through a people's movement, but a spiritual movement as well. Yes, I was very impressed by Poland. And I remember when I came back, I was asked to speak about it to a Polish group at Brompton Oratory. And so this was at the end of 1983. And I just spoke, you know, about my experiences. I didn't pretend to be an expert, but I just gave my experiences. And people were very appreciative. They were mostly Polish, Anglo-Poles, Polish families who'd settled here, who sometimes people who had been here since the Second World War, and since the time of the Polish government in exile. And one lady stood up in the audience and she said to me, "Do you think Poland will really be free?" And I said, "Well, having been there, I know it will be free." And there was such a round of applause just for this expression. And I could see there that for so long there had been hope. They had hoped that Poland would indeed be free, or Poland would be Poland, as I saw on one of the placards being held up by a Solidarity group. And I afterwards, when Poland was free, I just thought, I do hope most of the people there have lived to see that day. The legacy of Solidarity, I think, should be something really eternal in Polish history and Polish pride. That really this spontaneous, uncorrupt, honourable, spiritual and democratic movement changed the world, changed really was the first brick which brought down the Berlin Wall. Many movements afterwards, all through Central and Eastern Europe proper, imitated what had gone on in Poland. But I think none with so much honour, really. So I do think it is a very high point in Polish history, which I would hope would be remembered and given as a template of the greatness of Poland, really. Its history, its faith, its culture, its people, and you know, just the deep sense of honour which was there at that time. Of course, times change, and you know, our dreams don't come true really the way we think they will. But history remains as a deposit, and it will always be there, I hope, for us. And I hope it will be not only commemorated in the history books, but in literature, in drama, perhaps in music, and in other ways that are meaningful to subsequent generations, who can be really very, very proud of the foundations of what is now modern Poland.